one of 11 9 months into 2017, and the cybersecurity industry is showing no signs of slowing down as investors continued to pour money into startups in September. The funding highlights the different areas of security that are growing, including cyber risk, Internet of Things IoT and containers. Among the vendors that raised money in September are two container vendors, with Aquaz Security securing $25 million in a Series B round of funding and CAPSULE8 brining in $6 million in a Series A round. The largest round of funding this month was raised by ForgeRock, which announced on September 5 $88 million in Series D funding to help advance digital identity security. In this slideshow, UEEK takes a look at 9 security vendors that raised money in September. 2 of 11 on September 5, ForgeRock announced that it had raised $88 million in a Series D round of funding, bringing total funding for the company to $140 million. ForgeRock is transforming the digital identity landscape by helping large organizations secure the identity of everything, build trusted, personalized relationships with their customers, and provide a seamless omnichannel experience, ultimately driving greater value and revenue, Mike Ellis, CEO of ForgeRock, said in a statement. 3 of 11 Exonius announced on September 6 that it raised $4 million in seed funding to help the company develop technology to secure Internet of Things IoT devices on enterprise networks. Mobility, cloud and IoT are creating a near exponential increase in the types and numbers of computing new devices connecting to enterprise networks. Jove Leedersdorf, managing partner at IL Ventures, who led the Exonius funding round, said in a statement. With this explosion comes the inherent cyber risk associated with the lack of visibility, security and control. 4 of 11 cybersecurity learning and certification platform vendor Cybery announced on September 12 that it raised $3.5 million in a Series A round of funding. In just 2 years, more than 1.2 million people have learned critical cybersecurity and its skills through Cybery, more than any other learning platform in the world, Ralph Sita, co-founder and CEO of Cybery, said in a statement. 5 of 11 on September 14, AppGuard announced a $30 million Series B round of funding to help advance the company's security technologies. Today's sophisticated security threats have rendered traditional detection-based security software virtually useless, and has forced the world to look for revolutionary new endpoint security solutions like AppGuard, John Lowe, CEO of AppGuard, stated. AppGuard's dynamic isolation approach to cybersecurity is the definition of disruptive. 6 of 11 security startup ThreatStack announced on September 19 that it raised $45 million in a Series C round of funding. Building on strong customer adoption and robust organic growth, we have set our sights on growing opportunities in existing markets and expanding into new ones, ThreatStack Chairman and CEO Brian Ahern said. Further investment in innovation will drive ThreatStack's continued leadership in the cybersecurity market. 7 of 11 on September 19 container security startup Aquaz Security announced that it raised $25 million in a Series B round of funding. We started the company 2 years ago, and since then we've seen the widespread proliferation of container technology use, Dror Davidoff, CEO and co-founder of Aquaz Security, told UEEK. From the beginning, we realized that containers represented an opportunity to revolutionize the way application security is done. 8 of 11 also on September 19, container security startup CAPSULE8 announced its $6 million Series A round of funding. Our latest funding round is validation that the cybersecurity market is ready to leave behind the poor effectiveness and high maintenance costs of the appliance model as they move to cloud-native approaches, John Viega, CEO of CAPSULE8, stated. 9 of 11 security SaaS service vendor Ike Networks announced on September 19 that it was rebranding as Sigilent and raised a new round of $7 million in funding. With this new growth capital, we'll be able to continue on our mission to protect resource-constrained organizations from the growing menace of cyber threats they face daily, along with the increasingly complicated regulatory mandates they must comply with, Vijay Basani, Chairman, President, and CEO of Sigilent, stated. 10 of 11 digital risk management vendor Digital Shadows announced a $26 million Series C round of funding on September 20. This funding event is a huge milestone for Digital Shadows, so we can expand our lead to offer the best digital risk management service in the industry, Alastair Patterson, CEO and co-founder of Digital Shadows, stated. 11 of 11 average cybercrime cost to global businesses rises to $11.7 million, report Accenture, and the Ponemon Institute released the 2017 cost of cybercrime study showing that the average cost of cybercrime to businesses around the world has increased in 2017.